No, not going there. Ooh, daisy. You want me some daisies. Gonna make me a yellow bed. Hello, Kales. Hello. Thanks for the lurk. No worries, you do enjoy your stream. You are streaming right now. Do not fret. Do not stress. Prioritize your stream. I'll probably be here by the time you get back. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever time tells. What the... I've always loved the theme to the Krusty Krab. So iconic, so original, so crabby, so piratey. Get one more sheep. I don't know if I can dye the gray one. I can. Biggish! Love to see you here. Appreciate seeing you here. Hope you are doing well. I do know you're still streaming. Hope your stream is going well. gonna just do a little some Minecraft for about 30 minutes, and we're gonna change it up a bit. A little spooky down there, ain't it? Oh. Died. Stone. That's what I need. I need dripstone. Iron. Don't want to go down there yet. We need that coal though. No, I knew it was gonna fall down there. A cherry blossom? That is indeed cherry blossom. Ooh. How do I get down there without dying? Ouch. Oh. Time. No, not yet. Oh, right. Alright, here. I don't want to make torches yet. I can work for a bit. Oh, real quick. Get some food. A little bit here already. What is this blacksmith doing? What's he doing? Ooh. Interesting. The game echoing? I think it was echoing when I was eating. Ooh. There. A lot of bread. Even more bread. You trade. You're not bad. Not bad at all. More bread. And nitwit. You are a butcher. And all the wheat. That is indeed all the wheat. There we go. Still got more. Alright. What are you doing? Noises. I'll take this one furnace though. Actually two. Going over there. Kind of weird. Ooh, that's close. More bread. Hey yo. Whole pack of wolves here. What do we got here? Oh. Unraking thorns. Obsidian. I'll leave that. I'll leave these here. Say the golden nuggets though. Really wouldn't have any use for the sword. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 2 only. No, 3. Just 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's enough here. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, there's more than enough. Did not think of these. Never mind. Never mind. Not have enough. I don't know where I'm going. Just going wherever life takes me. Bread. Probably get more wood. Ooh, jungle. I don't like jungles. They're huge for no reason. Da, 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 da. Whoever's watching, I hear that feeling. Just randomly falling asleep. Happening to me right now. Happening right now. Tired. Burned out. But still, we still go. We still work. Still work. Ooh, free meat. My goodness. Alright. I got 8. Don't need that. What? Not much really going on. Chicken. I didn't make. Chopped on this tree, why not? Oh, my axe. Ooh-wee. It's bedtime. Bedtime. No, Roy. Ow. That hurt. Man, I have no idea where I'm going. What even is this game? I think an older version would be better to play. Maybe an extreme. Maybe an extreme. For now, we ride. Oh. Oh, jeez. It's that. Oh no. Oh, abandoned village. Abandoned, which means there's food. Oh, boy. Get all the food, all the bread. Whoa. Wheat seeds. Need carrots, potatoes, and some. Don't need lousy wheat seeds. Smoker. Scared me, man. Oh, it was right there. That baby zombie come from? Oh no. Oh, another horror game. Making a stone sword and a stone axe. I'll make holes with her. That's fine. Ooh, more wheat. Sure. I'm so happy to see you here. How are you? No worries, no worries. If you prefer going to bed, please take the time and go to bed. I'd rather you have a good morning, good refreshing morning, than a drowsy morning. But I do appreciate it and feel honored for you to stay for a bit if you do choose to do so. Right now we're just playing Minecraft, and then in about 10 minutes we're going to be changing the stream. Nothing too fancy, just gonna do a little chatting. How are you doing? How was your how was your day been since your stream? I know you streamed earlier today. Hope everything is going well for you. Do let me know if you can't hear me or not. I'm speaking right now. Just want to check if you can hear me in stream or not. Sounds like you could. Like it. It looks like it. I guess I already got it. Already got it. I got it. We got it. I got a little SpongeBob music. Do let me know if the music is also too loud. Kitty cat. I don't want any of these seeds. Where did I come from? Came from that direction. Got no food. Right. Dead coral. Or cats. Whatever happened to the ocelots? Wow. Uh-oh. Something's burning. Lava? I think I'll come back to you in a bit. Nothing to look for, ain't nothing to do. A big old desert. I don't have a wolf. No, I didn't have any bones. Sadly. Sorry for what? What are you sorry for? Don't you dare be sorry. I'll make you sorry that you said you're sorry. Kidding. I wouldn't do that. Sorry I said that. Oh, no. Do not worry about it. We're not. But I'm glad to know that you can hear me well. Got a little SpongeBob music in the background, you know. Always good to keep the vibe, keep the name going. Gonna make a little bamboo farm. I do like me the bamboo. How was your day, David? I hope you have been well since your stream ended. Don't need that. I feel you. I am also the sleepy, but you know, a little stream won't hurt me. But I'm glad you had a good rest of your day after your dinner, or after your stream, I should say. Hope you have a good sleep though. Once you do have to head out. It's good because it is about 10 o'clock for you right now. Snooze in 5. Oh yeah, you got visitors coming over. Are you excited for those visitors? I don't really invite people over. I can't say I'm ever really excited for visitors. Alright, I think change the once we wake up, yep. Go ahead and change the game, the topics thingy. Go ahead and something quick. I know we should. I mean, again, it's up to you whenever you even hopefully when I can too, because I'm also going to quite possibly be, well, not this weekend, but I will next week. Next weekend I will be working. Raccoon, welcome to the stream. Love to see you here. Hope you are doing fantastic. About us just in time. We are just about to change streaming topics. Been going well. We just been on it for about half an hour. Today we are going to be changing the topic soon. It is, I would like to say, a sensitive topic. It, not in a way where it's sensitive bad, but maybe sensitive to others who don't see the same views as me. However, I would like to hope it is going to be alright for everyone to enjoy. I will explain a bit. Made a TikTok of it. You were bullied on in your stream. Oh no. Drop the names, I'll be there. Hold on, I'll explain for it. I just want to change the thingy real quick for the stream title. For some reason I can't manage to do it. I'm gonna change it to just chatting. Hey. Hold on, just give me a few minutes here, chat. Give me a few minutes. They can't bully you as long as you don't. You know what? Hey, Raccoon, I didn't think you understand Germ here. She's kind of on a. She likes to have things in an interesting manner. But now that I'm here, now that I have y'all here, I think it is good to introduce what the rest of the stream may entail. So, not really, but hey. I'm kidding. Hold on. There it is. So, the rest of the stream. Hold on, for some reason it doesn't have a microphone. You will have to bear. There we go. All right, so today I did end up muting myself because so the layout did not have a microphone. So the rest of the stream will be a little Bible study session. So for those who weren't here, you, Germ, and Raccoon, I have been transitioning into Christianity. So recently I have just bought a Bible recently. This is the King James version of the Bible, not the any other versions, because I know there are thousands of other versions of the Bible However, I believe I've heard that the King James Version is the most easiest to understand, and this was the closest one near me that I could buy at the time. And instead of just reading it, I would like to also study it to understand where and what the Lord God Himself is saying. Now, for those who do not believe in Christianity and those who do not want to know, I totally respect that. I cannot force anyone. Uh, that's cool for you, but not really a believer, but that's all I use in my school education. You know, I used to go to a Catholic school as well. I was an atheist at the time, really. So while I was in Catholic school, I was an atheist. I wasn't really much of a believer of any sort. In fact, I wasn't just until a few months ago. And it's really hard to explain it, how I transitioned, mostly because it was about, and I understand that, Raccoon, and I totally respect that. Like I said, if you do not wish to stay for your own personal beliefs, I respect that 100%. It is something I wish to do because I believe it'll get me more disciplined into reading the Bible. I I don't intend on my account to be a Bible only stream account. I do intend on making fun events or fun streams for obviously games and just to chat with you guys, obviously. But I also would like to, put myself into the Bible. Super funny because that is literally the opposite of what happened to me. Believe it until I got out of school and some stuff happened to my life. I can only imagine what it may be. I don't think it is any of my business to really ask unless you feel comfortable explaining that. But I really hope the best for you. And I do wish that you get to carry through whatever life goes to throw at you. The germ, same. I like to believe there is maybe something out there, but I personally don't think we can comprehend it. History of religion is interesting, like know how it evolves over time, like seeing how it evolves over time. And speaking of history of religion or religion in general, this I would like to mention that I may be a transitioning into Christianity. However, I don't believe in the story of Adam and Eve and that the earth was made in 6 days according to the Bible. Just recently we were reading Genesis, the first few chapters. I understand, Raccoon, and like I said, I will not force you. Personally, I don't like to force anything onto any religion or anything onto people because I used to be in a situation where somebody would mention Christianity and they would try to force it upon me, making me resent the religion more. However, when I am seeing more videos about it and see what can actually entail, I've actually been more, you know, interested in trying to, quite possibly get back into the religion again of Christianity. But we will is it is a story for me to only explain myself and for me to, walk. And back to what I was saying about how the Bible is more of, I like to say, a guide on how to live life, not a way um to show others and how they have to live it, more of a way to live a better life. Because the way I see it is that there may be like stories behind this, like Samson. I can't remember his name. But I'm sure if you remember the story of a man who had the strength of God, and he had his whose hair gave him the strength, but as soon as he lost his hair, he lost his strength. But to lose something he then became blind to regain his strength. I think that is a story of entailing you have to, if for you to get something back, if you lose something of equal value, for example, if you lose, your hope of it, or like example, I would like to say yes. It is an interesting story because I think it goes more into the perspective of how if you lose something precious, you must give back something to the Lord in something of equal value. So for Samsus, his strength came from his hair. When he lost his hair, he lost his strength. But for him to get it back, he had to lose something of equal value, which is his eyesight. His eyesight was that of equal to his strength, according as the Lord saw it, for therefore he gained his strength back. So, like I said, it's not really realistic. I don't think it's realistic as to how somebody can get the strength back because they lost their eyes. I think it's more of a story to guide per person and how to understand and perceive it to live a better life, to understand what if you feel down or you think something has been taken away from you, give something of equal value that you can possibly get it back. So I'll start off. Last stream we ended off in the Genesis chapter 2. For that, we ended off reading the story of Adam and Eve, where it was, I think, a beautiful story to end off in. Last time I did take notes, and we did mention that in the beginning, God saw good in the earth, shaming bald people since day one. That's one way of putting it, I guess. I think I'm going bald. I should be pretty strong. It is my religion teacher taught us that it has been confirmed that a lot of testaments are metaphors more than real life. Yes, and that's what I think a lot of people get confused about when it comes to religion or the Christianity is that they think that the Bible is meant of a more literal thing when it's more of metaphors than anything. And a way that I like to see is this right before the end of, I don't think you guys can really see it, but I'll read it out for everyone. I won't just be reading in silence. Can't become strong if you don't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I was saying about the story. So, for example, um, the right here, Genesis at the end of chapter 2, Genesis uh, 3, or Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Hey, now these are cheap. These are cheap, all right. These are like $10 for a pack of six. I think. You know, you can cross out the Amazon. You don't need to worry about that. But in Genesis chapter 2, section verse 24, there's this beautiful verse that I saw. Therefore, that says, "quote Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." I think Shimmy just found it funny. No, I get it. It is pretty funny to me too now that I think about it. But it is for me to see that, I thought it was really beautiful because it really gives you into the Bezos and Jesus. You know what? Why not? He, Bezos can spread the word of Jesus. I'll say that for sure. But Genesis 24, the when I took the note, it says, "May a man leave his family to make his own." But I think looking back at it, it also refers to a woman as well, because earlier, um, and earlier it says, chat. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. Sorry, chat. It's raining right now. No, 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 no. You're not distracting me at all. It's just it's good to give a little context about new people. For example, you, because I know you two weren't here last stream. The reason I just left for a bit because it's now thunderstorming outside and my dogs do not like the thunder. So they just wanted to see if I was okay for some reason or they wanted to see me. But they are doing okay. So, as I was saying before, Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. So I really like this verse because originally, as I said before, it really explains as to how we are committing to of our family of our own, where our mother and father grows us into a basket. They weave us into a basket, and Jesus said, "Let there be Prime Day." Or thanks for the lurk, raccoon. Glad you were able to stop by. I hope you have a good day. So as I was saying earlier, I think I like to believe that whether it's a man or a woman, um, our parents weave us into a basket to possibly form us in what we can hold on to today. Whether have a family of kids. Oh, no worries. Obviously, I'm glad that you're going to be here. If I'm ever too distracting, like I said, you just make sure you be safe out there, all right? I appreciate the look. I'll I'll just keep talking. Um, so whether it goes for men or women, our parents raise us, whether by blood or not. We have parental figures that grow us into what we are today. Um, and when it says they shall be one flesh, I believe it means they sh- they'll have a family like with kids of their own by blood because it the way the way I was thinking of it is that when you look back to chapter 2 verse 22 of Genesis chapter 2 verse 22, it says, "And the rib which the Lord God has taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bones of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man." And that kind of hits, a little close because I mean I can't say like it's like close because as far as I can tell, this for me it shows that a woman or a wife fills a man's soul in a way, gives him purpose, gives him meaning because in and it's gonna sound sexist, but in a way where it's more of men are, and I don't mean to say it like this because obviously it's just the way I perceive it, is that men obviously can fend for themselves and they can do whatever it is. But it's more of the way I saw it as well as you can't you can have a family, but at the same time that you have to make sure that family is what fills your soul, that makes you complete, that makes you whole. Or there's plenty of people that have families but feel empty. Men that have families but feel empty. That goes for women too. Um, for a woman has to fit the right piece of a man. For the woman has to be the right rib. For the woman has to be the right soul. And if a man and a woman aren't of the same compatibility, it kind of makes like the corpse or the soul ache in a way, to where you can't really enjoy the presence of each other due to how much it kind of hurts. Because imagine having to deal with like a cracked rib all the time, just floating around there. It's not sitting in place. It's not sitting properly. It's more of you can't really enjoy it because it's not meant for you. Not you're not meant for each other. So that's kind of where I like to see the Bible as more of like mythology and metaphorical stories to help you understand what life will and can entail for you. So we last ended off on chapter 3, Genesis chapter 3. So I'll start reading, and if I see anything, I'll take notes and explain it to you why. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. He said unto the woman, Yeah, ye hath God said, Ye Jubal, he was the father of all such as handle the harp or an organ. And Zillah, she also the bare Tubal Cain, as instructor of every artificer, in brass and iron, the sister of Tubal Cain, Nama. And Lamech unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice. Ye wives of Lamech, hearken my speech. For I have slain a man to my unwounding, and a young man. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again. He bare a son, called his name Seth. For God said, She hath appointed me another seed, instead of Abel, who Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son. He called his name Enos, and began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. The day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them. Call their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, as he begat sons. And all the days Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Well, I'm glad this is soothing. I'm glad to know you're enjoying it. Makes me happy that this is soothing for you. Seth lived 105 years and begat. Enos and Seth lived after he begat. Enos 807 years and begat sons and daughters. And all days of Seth 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90, begat Cainan. And Enos lived after he begat Cainan 815, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years. He died. Cainan lived 70, begat Mahalalel. And Cainan lived after he began Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Cainan were 910. He died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons. All the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared 960, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, begat Methuselah. Enoch walked with God after he began Methuselah 300 years, begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived in 187 years, begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat 782 years, and begat sons. All the days of Methuselah 969, and he died. Lamech lived in 182 years, and begat a son, and he called his name saying the same shall comfort us, turning our work oil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after begat Noah 500, 595 years, begat son. And all the days of the Lamech were 777 years. Died, and Noah was 500. And Noah begat Shem, Ham, Japheth. So I think chapter 5 really just explains, as it says, the birth of Seth and Methuselah's descendants. The Bible was really specific on Methuselah. For I think after him, his generation was more of what really entitled the Bible to go where it had to go. Gotta sleep, but have a good night. Enjoy the stream. No worries, Jerm. I'm really glad you will be here. We appreciate it. I hope you have a good night. You be safe. You take care of yourself pretty well. I think Genesis chapter 5 explains uh, history. Mankind. And I think another thing that kind of interests me is that how long um these people lived. So, for example, um right here, Mahalil, it says chapter 3 verse 15, and Mahalil lived 60 and 5 years and begat Jared. What it means by begat, I'm sure he means when he gave birth to his son Jared. And after Mahil lived and Mahalil lived after he begat Jared 830 years. So after Jared was born, Mahalil lived an extra 830 years, and then Jared begat sons and daughters. Uh, so I guess it really goes to show how long these people were able to live up to, that God really gave these people the gift of life. It's more of, I think it's really just to show, the generation of where all these people came from. But in reality, nobody's ever lived that long. I think it's more of just a little explanation, context as to why humans are where they are today. Um, because even current preachers, they agree that the Bible is not a good, book for to understand history, as people will claim that the Earth, according to the Bible, is about 4,000 years old, maybe just a little more. However, multiple preachers would also claim that it is a ridiculous claim to say that the Bible even gives a date as to how old the Earth is. And I think Cliff is a famous preacher. I don't know his last full name, but Cliff, he would even say that the Bible never even mentions how old the Earth is itself, and that for people to use the Bible as a source of evidence to claim how, the history, scientists, the science, the history, the math behind it is absurd, because same principle goes for whether you're trying to find history in a science book. Science never mentions it. Why would you say that history never existed? And same thing for the Bible. Just because science is never really mentioned into the Bible, you shouldn't say or claim that science is irrelevant. When science, I was mentioning this before in a previous stream, in that um science, our science that we know today isn't what the authors of the Bible knew before. What do I think? What do you mean, what do I think? Think of What do I think of the Bible as, a source of history? I was just gonna say that that I was just gonna explain as to why I think we shouldn't process the Bible as it is. What do you think is true and what the Bible says or what science is? I think that the science is a study of God's creations, not not the other way around. Science doesn't disprove of it. Science only possibly enhances the truth that God does exist. And the reason I say that, because I'm sure when you ask multiple scientists, it's more of how chaotic and organized our universe is. So whether how something such as the Big Bang can happen so suddenly and how the Earth came from possibly an asteroid or because of something like that, for how big space is, it really makes you wonder whether it's something organized or whether it couldn't just be by chance. Because by the time Earth had formed, Earth was only a tiny fraction of the entire history of our universe. So we have that evidence now because our technology allows it. These authors didn't have this technology. These authors didn't have that understanding. Whether it's by purpose or not, I don't know. We can't really say because it's not something definite. It's not something that they've ever really explained or tried to mention. But I like to think that it's still science is a way to help prove or further expand our understanding of God. Not more so of God, but his creations. That's what I think. Because, like I said before, it's very difficult to say that something so perfect, like the Fibonacci sequence, like pi, like so many things in our space time. You think, what makes you think something so complicated, perfect can happen in just a random coincidence? And I agree, I 100% agree with that religion, people can still have faith while believing in science. In and another thing too is that evolution is real. We have proof to say that evolution is real. And as for whether people say evolution isn't, is like I said before, and this is a good, good point here is that we've mentioned that just chapter 5 of Genesis, chapter 5 or Genesis chapter 5 verse 1 all the way to 32, these people live for over hundreds of years when modern people now can't live over up to nearly 100 years. It's like I explained this to my grandmother, but she still says things like I don't come from an ape. it and it's really hard to, you know I've seen this had that before everywhere, and I even, try to figure out why people are like this, like that. And it's more of they're stuck in a mindset that they've been, you know taught for many generations. And it goes like the story of, you can take a horse to a river, but you can't force it to drink the water. And I'm not sure if you ever heard that story before, or that, metaphor, but it's a good way of just explaining that you can bring the knowledge to somebody, but it's up to them to decide whether they want to accept it or not. And for your grandmother, I'm not saying that, she isn't educated, but she just possibly doesn't have a good understanding of how evolution works, or whether she was in an area where they were heavily Catholic and they also didn't believe in the in this theory of evolution. But I grew up in an area where evolution was taught, was educated on, and we even have research papers that we would use as homework to prove and even improve our further understanding of evolution. These authors back then, they did not have that. That's why I want to make it so clear, is that these are more of metaphors than actual terms of evidence. And again, these authors did actually exist. Even in American history books, we even mention that Jesus Christ, himself did exist. Millions of authors wrote about Jesus Christ, more for of his influence and for the fact of what he claimed to be at the time. Because the Jews, the Israelites at the time when they knew about Jesus Christ, they would only believe that God exists, not Jesus. Because who in their right mind will claim themselves to be the Son of God, Son of the Almighty and All Knowing? It's something that was marked down in history because it was such an event. The same thing for these is that they didn't have the time or the the time or the science or the technology to understand and figure out how evolution worked. Could they have dug up any bones? Maybe, but we haven't found fossils until a few hundred years ago, whereas Jesus Christ happened over 1,000 years ago, like over 2,000 years ago. So it's just not happening. You won't be able to see it in this Bible because they didn't have this kind of technology. But when you compare to what we see today to the Bible we read now, it's you start to understand what the Bible is meant, what Christianity is really more about. That's why I like to explain to others who I think are struggling as well because I can't say like I'm mastered Christianity because I doubt, for someone who just transitioned a month ago and still transitioning, I can't say give any advice about it because I'm still learning as I go. Again, this is my first reading of the Bible. I can't really say that I've mastered it because I haven't even read it once. I'm barely on chapter 6 out of how many pages? So, what what did this remind you of? Raccoon. Hmm. What was the study about? Read, but while you type, I hope you don't mind. I'll read the rest. I'll start reading chapter 6. Chapter 6. You can keep typing, don't worry. I'll make sure to read your chat as soon as it comes up. Chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. They took them wives of all which they chose. The Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that is for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 100 years. There were giants in those days, and also after, when the sons of God came in onto the daughters of men, that they bare children to them, that the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of God, saw that the wickedness of man was great, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was, and it repented the Lord had on the earth, and it grieved him, his heart. Basically, this dude said that humans learn through experience in his life, like learning that roses have thorns because he tried to grab it, and in his own experience, religion and the faith of God is something we learn that. He himself was atheist, so certain things would happen that helped him. I never thought of it like that. I think that is a good way of saying it. For because it really hard to explain how to, you know, become faithful to Jesus Christ or the Lord, our Father, God, where you have to really experience it in your own way, just like as you said before, the way you would grab a thorn of, or like a bush of thorns. How would you know how much it hurts, or how would you know how to grab it without grabbing it? You need to experience it in your own way and not have somebody explain to you how much it hurts. I I believe that is a great way of explaining it. That is amazing. Ooh, I really would like to read more of this philosopher, for that is a great, great way of putting it all together. But I think chapter back to the Bible real quick. That was good. That was beautiful, Raccoon. I really appreciate you sharing that. It was beautiful. Back to Bible. And I think I would like to read back of verse chapter 6, verse 5 through 6. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination, the thoughts of his heart, was only evil. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved his heart. Keep reading, see if it explains what it means. The Lord said, I will destroy man who created the face of the earth, both man and beast, the creeping thing, fowls of air, for it repenteth me that I have. God is not disappointed in himself for what he made. It's honestly shocking to me. You gotta get that down. This 5, oh no, Genesis 6, 5, Genesis chapter 6, 5 through 7. God regrets, repents his creation because he now saw evil in hearts. And I think what he means by earlier in verse 4, chapter 6, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came onto the daughters, when the sons of God came in onto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty, when which were of old. 6, 4, a verb doesn't really give me a good explanation. No, not really. Ab. Oh, ab. Or villain, mighty, or fallen one. So I think the giants are considered as fallen ones. So I think that is Ab, which is villain, mighty, or fallen ones. All right. So when he addresses to the giants, he means that the ones who have fallen away from the Lord, the ones who aren't really following in His words. So that's what I mean by giants. You know how in Greek mythology, when they refer to giants, they refer to those as those who are tainting the earth, and those Greek gods are the ones who steal away the titans, the giants. Same thing here. He refers to giants as those who are falling away from the Lord, away from Him, from God. Those giants are considered, tainted. Those who are tainting the earth. I think this is a great way to explain that giants are considered those who have are filled with sin. And we see here, we keep reading, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil. So he's now seeing that it's only evil in the heart of man that he created, for he intended good. But after hundreds of years, man started to, these giants, tainted with sin, now started to fill their hearts only with evil. And continually, where it says, the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And I guess it really hurt him to see that what he thought was good now had made evil. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. That's what I mean by is like he's kind of regretting what he made because now he's now repenting himself. So let's keep reading. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So this is where now starts Noah Ark is giant boat. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. Noah begat three: Shem, Ham, Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God. The earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto him, end of all flesh is before me, for the earth is filled with violence. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make it in the earth, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it 50 cubits, height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and a cubit shalt thou finish it above. The door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of water. Papers are really thin. Dude. Yeah, what does it say? Oh, almost skipped the page. That's how thin these papers are. Ooh. And I, behold, I, even I, do bring a flood upon waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven. Everything that is shall die. But with thee I establish my covenant. Thou shalt come unto thee, thou and thy sons, thy wife, thy sons' wife, and every living thing of all flesh. Two of every sort shalt thou bring unto thee, keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing on this earth after his kind. Two of every sort shall come on. Take thou unto all flood that is he, shall gather it for thee, and it shall be for thee and for them. Thus know, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. So this story, as far as I can tell, is more of God wanting to cleanse the earth again. I've heard of this story plenty of times. I've heard of this story. It's abundant. You never run away from it when it comes to Christianity, because it is such an interesting story, mostly because of the math that I've seen behind it. Such a huge boat, 3 stories tall, and Oh, excuse me. Yawning. Mostly because of how big this boat technically is should be according to the math that they use, and how much animals there are. It's more like every animal on Earth shall be in this boat, which technically means he's had polar bears, he's had penguins, giraffes, ants, ticks, any animal you name, he technically had it. So this is why it's kind of a big story that I knew, like kind of recognized. But this was, I think, a way to explain um Pangea, because I don't know if any of you know, Pangea is more of the theory that our continents were used to be all formed as one, then split off into multiple. As for whether it's true or not, I can't say 100%. Sorry, my dogs. So in the way of speaking, if it's technically the first, you know what? When you put it like that, I would. It's like the world's largest zoo. I'll say that for sure. But as I think it's a way to explain, why God, floods the earth every now and then. I can't say 100%. I think. Oh, I think it's more of a way to show why um the earth was flooded before, or maybe it's a way to explain how God tries to um clean the earth of what once was evil. This is be like not only the first but the greatest zoo of all time. Wait, no. I was about to say like Moses, like wasn't Moses part the seas? Nah, you're good. Don't worry about it. So it was an interest. It's an interesting story. I knew it. With the page. Don't worry about it later. I don't know. My Bible, like, hey man, I'm learning just as much as you are. All right, you're getting sleepy. I am getting sleepy, but we got a few more chapters to go. We'll read until chapter 10. Go to sleep. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous generation. Every clean beast thou shalt take it to thee by sevens, the male and female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and female alive on the face of the earth. For yet 7 days, and cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days, 49, and every living substance that I have made I will destroy from the face of the earth. Now that this mentions it, 40 days and 40 nights, it's specific because if any of you know, it's also the same time in which it is Lent, during the same time of Lent. 40 days and 40 nights in which Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert alone with no food or water, according. I didn't know it kind of refers to as God cleansing your soul as well, the same way as he would cleanse the earth. So, chapter 7, verse 4, Genesis 7, verse 4, 40 days, 40 nights was Lent. Because that's what we call it. It's for those times of Lent, so 40 days, you're giving something up to help cleanse you, to get way more closer to God. For example, when you go to Lent, you give up something for those 40 days as a way to commit to show God that you're dedicated to Him. Same thing for weight. It's a cleansing. The cleansing to show that you're willing to repent, to show that you're willing to, I guess, in a way, make sense of what it is that those 40 days can truly show who you are. And during those time, it's the same thing as, God making it rain for the 7 days. This as for why it mentions the 7 days, I don't know. Can't say. But for the 40 days and 40 nights, those those are the days of Lent, the way of getting pure, the way of cleansing. So I think that's why Jesus would also spend in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, as it refers to now refers to Noah's earth cleansing of the earth, that God's cleansing of the earth for 40 days and 40 nights to help. That's what Jesus Christ did for us, to cleanse his soul for us in those 40 days and 40 nights. Even though he was already pure, I feel like that's what it was. I believe that's what it's trying to say. And back to reading. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old. Flood of water was upon the earth. And Noah went in, sons and sons' wife, to the ark because of the flood. Clean beast and of the everything. There went into unto the Noah in the ark, and the male and the female, as God has commanded Noah. It came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. 600th year of Noah's life, and in the second month, and to the 70th day of the month, 17th day of the month, same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. The rains was upon the earth 40 days, 40 nights. And the self same day entered Noah, and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah's wife, and the three wives of with them into the ark. So hold on, let's read that again. So it says, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, 17th day of the month, the same day, okay, 600th year of Noah's life, the second month, 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. The rain was upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. I think it just explains that God was just getting ready for the flooding, and that the gates of heaven was a way to guard Noah, his three sons' wife, and the sons' wives. I really can't say. I'm gonna have to keep reading. Okay. And the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the three wives of his sons with them, into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into Noah into the ark, two and two of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. They went in, male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. The Lord shut him in. The flood was 40 days upon the earth, and waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted above the earth. And the waters prevented, were increased greatly upon the earth. The ark went upon the face of waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, the mountains were covered, and all the flesh died that moved upon the earth, both the fowl, and of the cattle, and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, every man, all in whose nostrils were the breath of life. All of that was in the dry land died, and every living substance was destroyed was upon the face of the ground. both man, cattle, the creeping thing, the fowl of heaven. They were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him, the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Interesting. So, I mean, this kind of explains what's happening during the flood. Can't really say much about it. So, I think kind of goes into detail about how the flood happened, how it occurred, what occurred. It's pretty interesting. Chapter 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains of also the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. The waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the 7th month of the 17th day of the month upon the mount of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually till the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the first month, were the tops of the mountains. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot. She returned unto him to the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, took her, and pulled her into him unto the ark. He stayed yet another 7 days. Again sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off, so no one knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet again another 7 days, and set forth the dove, which returned not again him any more. And it came pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, earth was dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both fowl and of cattle, of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. They may breed abundantly in the earth. That may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his son's wife with him, every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast, and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offering unto the altar. The Lord smelled of sweet and savor. The Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more. I will not curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more of everything living as I have done. While the earth raminated seed time and harvest, cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Wow. What a message. I think this is really explaining as to why God will never interact with Earth again. I want to read it one more time. And the Lord smelled a sweet and savor. The Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination, for the imagination, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. While earth remaineth seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Hi Kales, how are you doing? Doing a little Bible reading. Did your stream finish? Oh, I'm not sure. Can't really tell. Ooh, nice. I hope stream went beautiful. I hope it went beautiful. We're over here finishing up chapter 8 of Genesis. Genesis chapter 8. Really, we just read finishing as to why the Noah Ark. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear you make a lot of new friends. I'm very happy to hear that. We were just reading about Genesis chapter 8, saying as to why the Lord does not interact with the earth as much as we thought we say. For those who say, if God is so great, why doesn't he come down and, you know, clean the earth once again? Well, in Genesis chapter 7, it explains. Oh no, Chaos. I'm reading the first time. This is me reading the Bible for the first time as well. So I guess it is shocking for both of us. Do not worry about having never read the Bible. I've never read it. This is the first time I'm ever reading it. I figured, you know, mark it down in history. Um, through stream, of course, because why not? But I believe streaming it will be a great way for me to stay more disciplined on it. You know what? I guess that makes two of us. But I think if I do want to stay disciplined, I will make a schedule for it. Probably an hour or two of reading. So I'll keep posted on it. I'll update it in my Twitch account once I do decide to make a schedule. But I think it'll be a great way for me to get closer to the Lord. But we were just explaining why we were just going to understand why the Lord doesn't interact with Earth as much as he did before. We just finished reading as to why God or how the flood had happened and why God decided not to interact with the earth anymore. Genesis chapter 8, verse 20 and 21. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. So it really explains as to why God doesn't, it answered that question. Why doesn't God interact with the earth if he's also great and powerful? It's because he purposely restricted himself to let us humans live life. While earth remaineth seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. He is letting earth do its normal thing while people live the life that they strive to be. For he understands that evil does not come from, from education or from, as adults. We do not strive to be evil, but rather as kids, we do not understand that we are still growing. And that is why parents and teachers are such important people in our life. As kids, we sometimes do good by instinct, but at the same time, for when we do evil, we may see that as a habit. We may lead it to temptation, as kids and children are easily susceptible to temptation. And the Lord understands that. Or as it says here in section 2 of verse 21, for the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. It really comforts me to know that even as an adult, we are still young and we still have a lot to learn. And God will not punish us that for our, for our attempts at evil, but rather our repentance to strive better. It really helps me believe that, you know, God knows why we are the way we are. For he even said it himself, for the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. It's just, I really don't know how to put into words because it really helps, soothe and understand that there's there is a way for us to understand and overcome those temptations. It is great for us to understand that, where we think that we do evil is not because. So does that mean, men, that the human being is evil by nature? Or I'm getting it wrong. So it's not that we're evil by nature, it's that we're evil by imagination. So it says, for the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. So technically, from youth, we can develop evil. We can develop, a way to fall into sin. But that's why, we have our parents, we have our teachers to guide us, forgive us that imagination of good. For it is possible for us to be evil by nature, but it's also possible for us to be good by nature. So it's more of imagination and temptation. If you can imagine, hurting someone, you can also be tempted to hurt someone. But if you can imagine to help someone, you can also be tempted to help someone. And he won't, force us to do what that he wants us to do. This is where he said, but what does it mean by imagination? Yes, yes, in a way, yes. It's that little voice that you hear or that little thoughts. Like your what's that word? Uh I forgot what it is, but it's like you're kind of, it's like sudden you fall into your thoughts. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die. I had a sudden urge to dye my hair. I'm gonna dye it blue, or oh, I had a sudden urge to eat burgers. So I'm gonna go get burgers. It's something like that. It's just that's what temptation is, and it's more of, are you willing to fall into it because you're imagining it? And you're right. That's from what I'm seeing. That's what it means by temptation or imagination. That little voice. So, for the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. So, the reason you are evil as a man or as an adult is because of your imaginations as your youth. You were guided in the wrong path from your youth as it led you to your adult place. Yes. Just like when you're a really tall place and the back of your mind is saying jump, then you're wondering where the heck did that come from. Yes, and that stems from your youth to think of just curiosity. But it's the same principle in the way. And if you are still confused, I'll read it one more time. Imagination, for the imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. Is evil from his youth. You can become evil or you can fall into sin from youth. And it's hard to get out of that place from evil if you are subjected to it from youth. For example, I have a coworker. I will not say his name for his, security reasons. But since his youth, he was smoking, he was drinking because of his father. His father subjected him into drinking, into smoking. And it is a sin to damage the body that God created. For he created you in his image, and for you to destroy it is a sin. You will, and it's one of the commandments too, for you to not, you know, for you to not murder. And when you murder yourself, that is considered one of the commandments that you are violating. And for you to smoke, kill your lungs, and for you to drink to kill your liver, that's killing you. You're violating a commandment against God. So for him to be susceptible to that since youth, that is where the evil comes from. That is another example of where it's saying, imagination of a man's heart is evil from his youth. So when you think or see people do something wrong, it's not because they had a sudden urge to do it, but because it's rather from their youth that carried on to their present. So it's really more of the Lord understands that we can change or be better, but it's up to us whether as a youth from our youth to carry it onto our future. And it's also this is a good way to understand and give that answer. Why doesn't God, come down to earth and stop all this madness? For he knows he made a promise to us that he will not, to himself as well, that he will not, seize greatness of the earth that he created. He will, and it says here in chapter 8, verse 22, while the earth remaineth seed time and harvest, which means while the earth grows with fruit and blooms the flowers, in cold and heat, in summer and winter, meaning he'll let seasons still go by and still pass normally, give us warmth, give us cold, and give us wind. And day and night, which is obviously the sun and the moon, to give us night and day, shall not cease, which will not be removed for our sins, for our corruption, for our evil. For everything he does is good, and everything he intends to see is good. Whether you are doing evil, he will set you into path that he knows that sees good and all good. He knows that we do not do things on purpose or merely just to be evil. We do things on purpose, not mostly because it stems from our youth. So it's also a way to help to say you cannot bring your past to the future. You cannot bring your past as a way to say, I'm doing this because of my past. You can't say that, but at the same time it's not what God wanted you to do. For he knows you're not evil because you choose to do so, but you have sin in your heart because you can't let go of the past. You can't trust God's plan for you. For that's why you are evil at your heart. It's because you can't let go of your youth. You stem your sins, your evil from your youth. So I think that is a good way to end for today's stream. I'm almost at 2 hours. So Genesis chapter 8. I'd like to take a note for that. Genesis 8. Chapter verse 21 to God made a promise to let us live our lives of free will. So that is a great way, I think, to end for now on Genesis chapter 9. And before I end stream, I do have another book here called Jesus Calling. Enjoy his peace and presence. Um it is a good way, a book that I've read as well is more of not more towards the Bible, but more of trying to read something once a day throughout all 365 days of the year to possibly learn something and become a little better. So for today is August 1st. I would like to read for August 2nd. Something to keep in mind for you, chat, for tomorrow. It says here, bring me the sacrifice of your time, a most precious commodity. In this action addicted world, few of my children take time to sit quietly in my presence. But for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water. I, the one from whom all blessings flow, am also blessed by our time together. This is a deep mystery. Do not try to fathom it. Instead, glorify me by delighting in join me now and forever. So I think it's a great way to say no matter where you are in life, always fall into the hands of Jesus to show that He is there for us. For He knows and understands all our time. For He knows our generation, He knows our time. He knows what we're going, but for He is also the all knowing. He has, a plan for us. Dickish, you, I'm surprised you're here. I'm just about to end stream. But I appreciate you for raiding me. I am very happy. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, all raiders, welcome. No worries, we still have a few minutes. Don't worry, I'm still chatting for a little bit. But I'm really happy for you to be here. Thank you. I really appreciate you spreading the love. We love that. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for rating me. I'll make sure to come over next time for your stream. But we are just reading a little verse. I would like to read it again for those who are here, for those who are new. Everyone, welcome to the stream. We were just doing a little early Bible reading just to help me encourage myself into transitioning back into Christianity. Transition towards to Christianity. We just finished reading Genesis chapter 8, verse 21 and it is a great story of how God made a promise to us to live our lives of free will, for He wouldn't interact with the earth. Helps us understand that question: why God doesn't just come over and just clear this earth of evil. So God made a promise to step back and say, "I'll let you live the life of free will. I will not stop the winters. I will not stop the summers. I will not stop the fruit day or night, for I will let you live the earth I have created." Which is what he was saying, which is what the Bible said. But I would like to read you something, chat, creators. I'd like to read you all something that is great. I'd like to keep you all in the back of your mind. I shall read it again. Bring me the sacrifice of your time, a most precious commodity. In this action addicted world, few of my children take time to sit quietly in my presence. But for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water. I, the one from all blessings flow, am also blessed by our time together. This is a deep mystery. Do not try to fathom it. Instead, glorify me by delighting in me. Enjoy me now and forever. So, as I was mentioning before, in a time of action addicted world, which is what Jesus Christ is saying, uh, or this is what the the date is saying to keep in mind, is that in our generation we live by the lust of flesh, or we live by the flesh, meaning we do whatever it takes to makes us feel better at that time and moment. Where it says, enjoy my but for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water. I, the one from whom all blessings flow, am also blessed by our time together. So no matter what time it is, no matter where it is, he is also blessed and happy to be there with you. This is a deep mystery. Do not try to fathom it. And as confusing as it may be, for as confusing as it sounds, how does Jesus Christ understand what we're going through? He is not in the same, generation as we are today. Don't question and I don't mean it in a rude way, is I don't really think too much about it, because Christianity, or the faith in Jesus Christ, isn't about like understanding it. It's more of about faith. Do you trust him? Do you believe him? Can you follow his footsteps without questioning where he will go? That is what Christianity is. That is what they intend. This is what it really is, just having faith and trusting him and trusting God and trusting Jesus. And here it's at the end, it says, instead, glorify me by delighting in me. Enjoy me now and forever. It is insane how much he is willing to have trust or have patience with us. For in this action addicted world, as he said, he is willing to let us have faith in him. He wants us to have faith in him. Do not question nor have concerns into what he is. For we will walk the same water he walks if we have faith in him. And if we don't, we may possibly drown, but he is always there to pick us up from the seas. So that is a great way, I think, for me to end it here. For he himself, Jesus Christ, is our peace. I'd like to thank you all for coming by, for listening to me ramble to my Bible study. I think is a great way for us to also understand, for those who are confused and where they want to be in life. I was in the same position, I was confused, wondering where it all I should go, where I should all be. And then it came down to Christianity. I felt joy. I felt a lot better. I feel more determined. I feel more ready to wake up for the day. It's been great, and I'm very happy with it. And reading the Bible makes me feel, even better. It's something I really wish to continue. I think I will make a schedule lately to at least stream for 2 hours. Again, this is not a Catholic or Christian only stream. I will be playing games every now and then. We love to have a few fun, but again, I appreciate everyone coming by. I appreciate everyone for being here. Thickish, thank you again so much. I will give you a shout out for those who are watching. Please give Thickish a follow. Please, 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 for she is an amazing person. She is a lovely person. He will do, he does a lot, of stuff. Um, she played games a lot. She was recently playing. Um, give me a second. Well, I do recommend everyone to go out and follow Thickish. Let me try one more time with the command here. There it is, Thickish. Everyone go follow Thickish. She's an amazing person, lovely person. She is fun, she is joyful, and she is great. I do recommend her. Everyone, again, have a good night. I love every single one of you. You take care now. We will be raiding somebody. Who shall we raid? We shall raid Chai Spy. She is apparently playing Dead Rising 2. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and raid her for those who are ready to raid. Underscore. Is that how you spell her name? Ice Spice? No. I Spice underscore BT. What? Alright. Bye bye. Bye bye, raccoon.